Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. As I mentioned in the first hour when I talked to Zach Asitas from Bantu, we are lucky here in Utah because we have so many great entrepreneurs and so many great startups that happen here. But, you know, some of those people may not have the advice that they're looking for. And luckily, I have an expert here with me today. Deb Gabor, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
So what advice do you have specifically for small retailers that are maybe just getting on their feet, or for people who've been in business for a while but don't have the big online presence that maybe these huge retailers have?
So I look at everything from the point of view of creating emotional bonds with people. I wrote this book. It's called Branding is Sex, and retailers, entrepreneurs, early stage companies, even established companies can learn something from the pages of this book. And basically, what I talk about there is to look first how to bond emotionally with customers, because people buy things from people, and people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And so going through the book, you know, I advise entrepreneurs and business owners and business leaders to actually answer these three important questions about their business and their brand. And those questions are, first, what does it say about a person that they use your brand? And that applies to, let's say, like the local Park City merchant, for instance. What does it say about a customer that they shop at your store? The second thing is, what is the singular thing that a customer gets from you that they can't get anywhere else? So what really makes your business, your product, your services, your retail store unique and singular that gets people to come again and again and again? And then the third thing is, we are what we buy, and everything that we buy and where we shop and what we do, it all tells something about us to the rest of the world. We're trying to create a story for ourselves. So everybody in every kind of business needs to think about the customer first and look at that customer and think about, what is the story that that person is trying to create for their lives, and how does your business make them the hero in that story?
I love that, because it is so true. I mean, clothes and everything, it kind of tells a story of who you are and what you do and what you appreciate, everything that you like. So I think that's great that you have those tips for people to get really personal with their customer and really understand their base and really understand their market.
Most of the information that's out there about branding today is really esoteric, it's very academic, it's very theoretical. I just wanted to boil it down to some really easy to understand concepts. This book is it's a how-to, basically. Okay. And so if somebody was interested in going through the process of actually creating a brand and doing brand positioning and creating brand messaging, you can learn everything you need to know from that book.
Perfect. And where can people find that book?
You can buy it at Amazon, you can buy it at bookstores, you can go to the website brandingissex.com, and then you can download a free chapter of the book from there.
Oh, perfect. Excellent. To get some tips for free there.
Yeah.
And so kind of speaking about the ski areas, we are kind of having a rough year, as you know. Mm-hmm. You have some tips for the big ski areas to help them market themselves in years that are kind of slower than average and lower precipitation than average. And what tips do you have for them?
So I definitely was really struck by that weather report and the snow report that happened right before I came on. Looking at some of those snow depth totals, you know, base depths, it's a bad year. I actually own a vacation home on the other side, on the Wasatch Front, and what I've been experiencing so far is some cancellations. People are not wanting to come because we don't have those triple-digit depths, and I'm on the Alta Snowbird side over there. And so, you know, especially over here in Park City, this is an opportunity for the ski areas and local businesses, be those restaurants, retail stores, service providers, whatever, to take advantage of opportunities to bond with customers in a unique way and maybe create complete experiences. For instance, I'm over here today, I'm going to go to the Aerials event at Deer Valley tonight. That's an opportunity for a complete experience when you have something that gets people's attention and you already have them almost like a captive audience. What kind of event-based things can you do? What kind of promotions can you create? What kinds of opportunities can you create that are differentiated and unique, that are maybe once-in-a-lifetime experiences that people can't get at any other time? You know, maybe capitalizing on those opportunities is a way for everybody, whether you're a restaurant, a retailer, or the ski resort, to, you know, really take an opportunity to bond with folks, even if they don't feel like skiing.
Yeah, and to show people that these resorts, I mean, they're fantastic. It's a resort. It's not just a ski resort. It's a resort in all contexts of the word. I mean, you have everything from some of the best fine dining, some of the best, you know, retail shops and clothing experiences there, and so having these places offer and show that, you know, you can come here and really enjoy your experience while you stay here, and be able to ski, but we have so much more than skiing to offer.
There's so many unique things about this area. There is no other town like Park City. I mean, I've been to a lot of ski towns all over the world, frankly, and Park City offers this really unique experience that you can't really get this anywhere else. There's a vibe, there's an energy, there's a feeling. You have everything from like really cool distilleries and bars and wine bars, and like you said, you know, some of the best fine dining. You have great spas, you have ice skating, you have tubing. There's that great tubing hill out there. It's an opportunity to do things besides skiing and snowboarding, and it's a way, I just call this a complete experience, like a 360-degree experience that really activates everybody's senses and everybody's opportunities, and that's a way to create memories. So, you know, the idea is to create a bond with people that they're not just enjoying themselves here this year at this time, but when they come back next time, they have great memories that, you know, transcend just this one visit to the Park City area.
I love that, the complete experience, because it's not hard to find that here. You can find it pretty easily anywhere you go in Park City, which
Absolutely.
is fantastic. And kind of, I wanted to move and switch gears. Kind of here in Park City, it's a big rental market, and like you were saying, you have a rental property, a vacation home. What advice do you have for property managers or people who are kind of having a hard time getting those places filled right now because of the snow conditions?
So luckily for me, with my property on the other side over there, I haven't had to offer any promotions because all the cancellations I've received, other people have jumped in on those rentals. So that's great. And I would say, you know, just experientially, you know, from my point of view, you don't necessarily have to lower your prices to attract people. Some of the things that I've seen other property managers and property owners doing to attract renters is adding something extra, like for instance enticing people by adding the service of, hey, we'll make sure that you have a basket of food and some wine available for your arrival, so something extra that maybe you wouldn't normally get, or you know, offering them connections to local services. One of the things that I do with my rental property, I have a relationship with a local ski shop that's, you know, right around the corner from my house, so that when guests come, if they need to rent gear, they need to buy gear, I have a friend of the owner discount that I can pass along to my guests.
Very nice.
And so that, again, you know, going back to this idea of this complete experience, you know, it's something extra that they get that may entice them. You know, as far as dealing with cancellations, that's, you know, that's really difficult right now. I have updated my ads online just to focus on, you know, what's good about the skiing right now. Video of all of the cool experiences and things that you can do, you know, while in town that maybe aren't skiing or snowboarding. I think that that's a way to, you know, really sort of drive attention to rental properties and things like that.
Excellent.
But I would say don't lower the prices if you don't have to.
So you don't
leave
feel
anything
like
on
you have
the
to be
table.
so desperate to get people in, because like you said, there are so many ways to complete that experience for guests and to have them really just have some great memories and say, you know what, even though there wasn't that much snow last year, you know, I had a great time doing this at this restaurant, or going and ice skating in Midway, whatever it is. Completing that experience for your guests or your customers is absolutely key, it sounds like.
Well, and Sundance is coming next week, and that's a really great opportunity to create these special, complete experiences for people and give them little extras. If you have like an inside track to something at Sundance that you can offer somebody, maybe if rentals are slow. I'm assuming that rentals are not slow during Sundance. That's an area that's been growing year after year after year. I know that, like, I'm always full. Like, on the other side, people are still willing to stay, you know, 40 minutes away in order to get over here to experience everything that the Sundance experience has to offer.
Well, that is the beautiful thing about Utah and the Valley and everything, is we are only a short drive away, so it's not that far and it's not that bad. Speaking on the rest of your year 2018, do you have anything big coming up this year? Is there any big changes? Are you working on another book? Is there anything?
Well, I'm thinking about another book. I think that the people that I work with would probably hate to hear that I want to take a little bit of time and write another book. The audiobook for Branding as Sex is going to be out really soon.
Fantastic.
And so if you're a person who, instead of reading, you like to listen to your books, that will be available. I read the book myself. It was a grueling experience to go into the studio and read 200 pages of a book, but hopefully you'll hear my voice and like what I have to say. As far as like big plans this year, just sort of staying the course. I'm obsessed with branding. branding and I love marketing and I'm paying attention to what a lot of the brands are doing. I'm especially attracted to smaller emerging brands, upstart brands, like really interested in a lot of these snow sports brands that seem to be coming out of nowhere and kind of taking over for some of the industry stalwarts that we've known since I was a kid. So I'm really like paying attention to some of these emerging brands that are fascinating.
It is really cool to see. It is fantastic to see, especially I go to the University of Utah, and there's a lot of business students that have come out of there that have made some fantastic products that have completely changed the industry, which is pretty crazy, and a lot of it was factored on their branding.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, a large part of it was factored on their branding.
And so I guess if there was anything that would be like a final thing for me to say for new and emerging companies, especially those entrepreneurial ventures and emerging brands, focusing on branding early. And when I talk about branding, I'm not talking about the visuals. I'm really talking about the story and the core DNA of the company and the product and the people behind it and everything. Really focusing on that early and understanding who your ideal customer is, who you are for, and what you are to them. That's really going to help you in the long term. Sort of leapfrog the competition because it brings you focus and it brings you an opportunity to know exactly what it is you're doing, so that more importantly than choosing what you do, it's going to help you decide what you're not going to do. And
That's
so,
fantastic.
It's easy to get distracted if you're an early stage company.
Well, thank you so much. These have been some
Thank you.
fantastic
This
tips.
has been great.
Pleasure
Thank you.
meeting you, and we look forward to speaking to you again. Some great tips for startups, entrepreneurs, and even the big Park City ski resort here in the city. So, if you need any more tips or anything, where can someone find you on Instagram, Facebook, or your website?
My company is called Sol Marketing. That's S-O-L, like the sun in Spanish, solmarketing.com, or go to brandingissex.com and you can learn all about the book. Download that free chapter. Communicate with me directly, and that'd be awesome.
Excellent, Deb. Thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. We'll be right back with much more on the Mountain Morning Show right after this break.